So I know the title says it's taken me a decade to make this video, but in fact, I think it's actually taken me more than 10 years to make this. Now, do I mean I've been carefully creating this video for the past 10 years, or maybe just recording a bit on and off for the past 10 years? No. This video itself probably just took me an hour to make. Okay, before you skip, let me explain. So I didn't do anything in the last 10 years to create this video, but the thing is, I've really wanted to. I thought it would be so fun to make videos to, entertain people or share things, share myself openly or share things that I've learned. And in the last 10 years, I was so close many times to just do it and make the video, but I didn't take the action. So what stops me? Well, it's fear. I've been so scared to look bad in front of other people and, just think what people might think of me, how people might judge me, would I look weird in front of my family, my friends, and just strangers even. And I feel like the fear of looking bad in front of other people is such a common fear, right? I think that's why, statistically speaking, one of the top fears from humans is public speaking because, well, people are scared of, again, looking bad in front of other people and looking silly in front of other people. Well, I can't let fear control my life, and I need to do the things that I want to do in my life, and that includes making YouTube videos if that's what I want to do. And in this video, I want to share with you some ways that I use to overcome my fears. Specifically, there's two learnings or two tools that I like to share. And the first one is just being able to distinguish whether the fear that you're dealing with is fake or real. And what I mean by this is just logically break this down in your minds and think to yourself, what you're scared over, is that a real life threat? Or is that a threat in your minds, a perceived threat? An example of a real threat is a hungry wild tiger that's in front of me, that's attacking me. And yes, I should be freaking scared because my life is in danger. An example of a perceived threat is, or fake threats, is me about to do a speech in front of 100 people. My life is not in imminent danger and no one's about to hurt me, I'm not gonna die. However, what's very interesting is that our emotions and feelings tend to be very similar, whether it's a perceived or a real threat. Whether it's a tiger in front of us or just an audience in front of us, we get the feelings of, the sweaty hands, we might get jittery, our adrenaline's pumping, and we might even be in a state of shock. And our minds tend to trick us that way. And it's up to us to stop, take a step back and rationally think, is this real or is this fake? Am I just making up all of these considerations on what might happen? Like in an audience, am I just being scared of how silly I might look if I stutter? Or am I concerned if, Joe is gonna judge me because I'm talking about my feelings? It's just so absurd. And I think once you're able to break that down, it tends to give you a lot of confidence, knowing that most of our fears are not even real. It's just something that we're conjuring up in our minds and making it bigger than what it really is. And I'm just talking to a bunch of people. That's all that's really happening, and it's really not that scary. So the second tool I'd like to share is just thinking about the worst case scenario. So you think to yourself, what's the worst thing that can happen here? Now, the intention isn't to scare you and make you get more scared and more worried about what might happen. But it's really to logically break it down and ask yourself questions like, how likely is this going to happen? I think that most of the time, these worst case scenarios are not very likely to happen anyway. And often it's just in our minds, we're making it out to be this huge thing. And let's say this worst case scenario may happen to us. Now we have some power to logically think and plan, if this does happen, how are we going to deal with it? An example I can share is me stressing out and just being scared about a big work presentation that I'm about to do. And I'll think, what's the worst case scenario here? And I don't know, maybe they'll tell me to shut the hell up during the presentation. Is that likely to happen? Probably not. But more seriously, if someone does challenge me strongly, what do I do? Well, there's many things that I can do. I can accept their feedback, I can agree with them if I do agree with them, I can appreciate their feedback and calmly and professionally explain my point of view, and just be, try to think of what the best version of yourself would do in that situation. Again, it's not about expecting the worst to happen, but really just planning for it so that you have the confidence to do what you want to do when you have a solution in place if the worst was to happen. And I think that will give you a lot of power to overcome your fears. And those are two of the many tools that I use from my toolbox to help me overcome my fears. I'm very interested to know what are some of your ways that you use to deal with your fears. So if you can, please leave a comment below and maybe I'll learn something from it, or maybe someone else will learn something from it. Now, just talking briefly about my channel, I think in the past, I've been so fixated on knowing exactly what I want to create and what content I want to create. And that's really stopped me from doing anything. But the intention of my channel is just to share myself openly, share things that I've learned or things I'm currently learning, and just be brave and be creative and practice doing that. And I'm going to do just that. I'm going to challenge myself and I'm going to make a video a week for the next 8 weeks. And look, I realize right now I'm literally recording off my smartphone. I don't know how to shoot, I don't know how to edit videos, but that's something I'm going to learn throughout this time. And again, just continue practicing being bold and being creative. And I don't have anything planned right now for upcoming videos. So I'm going to figure it out, but that's another thing I want to practice, is just being able to give my word to something. So giving my word to creating these videos for the next 8 weeks and just being able to fulfill on that. And I think that'll benefit me in many other areas of my life if I'm able to do that, if I'm able to focus and do the things that I say that I'm going to do. Anyway, that's enough ranting for me. I hope you got some value from this video, or maybe just some entertainment. If you do want to follow along with my 8-week challenge or just my future videos, please consider subscribing. And again, I'd love to hear from you, so please leave a comment below on how you overcome your fears. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Cheers.